there, besties. We got to talk. So Jedediah has Riley Rogers on his live stream, and we're going to take a look at that. So who is Riley Rogers? Riley Rogers was the mayor of Dolton prior to Big Tiff. This is the gentleman who had the stroke in the middle of the election, from what I understand. And you know that Big Tiff says she won by 82% of the vote, which she really won by about 182 votes, 1,182 or 1,152, something around that number, when the residents consist of 20,000 members. So it sounds like low voter turnout. Same thing that just happened in Baltimore. Same thing that continues to happen over and over again in those same Black and brown communities that complain about everything that goes wrong. But let me go ahead and digress and let Jedediah interview Mayor Riley and see what he has to say and what he thinks about Big Tiff, his previous opponent.
I am Tiffany A. Henyard of Dolton, Illinois.
This video will look at how to pronounce Chicago and Illinois.
Illinois.
I'm saying you would have heard my statement that I just said.
We're going to ask for a motion.
Okay, well, I got to come. Now, don't take the roll call just because you want to be quiet now.
No,
And we can override you.
Okay. You're out of order, Trust.
Million. They can leave. They can leave. I can
236.
And I'll be out of order today.
Let's go.
Mayor Riley, are you there? Oh, we are not getting him.
So while they are getting the technical difficulties together, you heard that little snippet there from Big Tiff. I'm going to grab that. You know I am. Showing her disrespect. And, you know, people can act any way that they want to, but when you act a certain way and then people treat you the way that you act, you can't get mad at that. That is the person who she was as a trustee.
Am I what?
You're on audio right now. Is that okay?
That's fine.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mayor Riley. Do me a favor, if you can, put those ones in the chat. Let me know that you all can hear us both. Can you hear them, producers? So, Mayor Riley, I just played a clip, and it actually came from your page. And on that clip, it was a very contentious then trustee, Tiffany Henyard, who has been very vocal against you while you were the mayor. And now we see her going through some similar accusations that have also led to a grand jury hearing testimony. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I had some haters out there too, and some of those same haters are hating on her now. But I tell you, when Tiffany talks about respect, she never gave any respect. You know, she refused to call me mayor and call me by my first name all the time, which is fine too. But also,
no, it's not fine, because this is the person that's commanding and demanding that people do right by her and they should support her. And it's not right that she's a Black woman who's being persecuted. No. So now in this case, and I hate using the word karma. Trust me when I tell you I hate it, but it's your karma. You wanted to get into that position, Big Tiff. Now be in that position and do what needs to be done. But instead you want to go and do what you want to do, which is the typical same old. It's just a different person. I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Because I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you.
I was just riding the bike.
And now you act like everybody is doing wrong by you, but for some reason you can't seem to see what it is that you were doing to others when you had your position. Isn't it interesting how that works? No one seems to ever see where they do anything wrong, particularly women.
She did the same thing to the attorney, calling him Murphy instead of Attorney Murphy. You know, it's about respect. And so I guess she's feeling exactly what she gave out now.
Wow. So you feel like she's reaping what she sowed.
Yeah.
So when she was disrespectful to you, what were the things outside of not calling you your title and things like that? What are some of the things as a trustee you felt were disrespectful that against your administration?
Well, you know, I think it was partly she wanted to create chaos and just disruption in the whole process, you know. But
no, I know you effing lying. Mayor Riley, I know you effing lying. You mean to tell me that there is a woman who wants to cause chaos? Who says that? Somebody says that around here. I can't remember who it is.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
Isn't it interesting how women, and I'm just, as a whole, women want to always say that someone's doing them wrong, but never seem to see what the heck it is that they do, how they treat people. The old adage that my grandmother used to say, and I'm sure some of the Generation X people had the same type of grandmothers that said, you treat people how you want to be treated. You're not going to sit around in life, in my opinion, and treat people like crap and then turn around and be the woe is me as to why people aren't being nice to you. It's not right. It's not fair. Child, please.
I just forced through it. You know, I refused to get up and leave. And I wanted to rebut some of the things that she said in regards that were not true. But it's the same type of posture that she's in now as a mayor.
So y'all, Mayor Riley served as the mayor of Dolton from 2013 all the way to 2021. Correct me if I'm wrong in anything I say. But when you were the mayor, Jason House was a trustee, Stan Brown, Robert Hunt, Tiffany Henyard were four of the trustees. And in your tenure as mayor, you ran on a ticket with some of them that also brought in Andrew Holmes, Ed Steve, Tammy Brown.
Somebody brought in Ann? Oh, no. Now, obviously, we know that no one could know in advance that he would allegedly be in the situation that he's in right now. But the politics is a mess.
So when you look at politics today, and these are people who at one point ran alongside you in your mayorship, are you proud? Do you like what do you feel about the current climate of politics in Dalton?
Well, I think honestly that I supported some people that I shouldn't have supported, you know. But hindsight is additional knowledge and stuff like that. But we can't change this history right now. But I think that really that people that if they have interest in running politics and they get elected, they should really have the people's have people's interests in place first before their own.
Okay, completely. And I'm gonna. I'm new to this interviewing thing, and so I guess my question would be to you: are you able to say some of those names that you kind of, in hindsight, regret running on the ticket with?
Ooh, Jedediah is messy, and we here for it. Jed, shout out to Jedediah Brown. Messy, we here for it. Drop them names, Mr. Riley Rogers.
One for sure is Andrew Holmes.
Well, that's
and there was some outside intervention that they wanted to have chaos in the village. But I'm not going to mention that person's name, but they're not here to defend themselves. But there's some outside intervention that some of these trustees were listening to cause chaos in the village of Dolton.
So, okay, so so Andrew Holmes being one particular, but are you proud of the current trustees who kind of stood up to Mayor Henyard like she did against you?
Well, I won't use the word proud, but, you know, the trustees have an obligation to assist in running the village, and the mayor should run the things by the trustees to have them, you know, approve certain purchases and especially expenses that are going out.
Okay.
I always tried, if I was using taxpayers' money, I always tried to use it as my own money, be modest, have my receipts, and also make sure that I'm cautious of how I spend the money and how much I spend. So you can't just go out there and say, hey, this is my piggy bank and I'm going to use it for personal use.
Okay, so listen, I'm not going to, now be fair. Mayor Riley had some issues on his end too, which we can start looking into as well. That'd be up to y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I think that he had some decorum as to not bring so much attention to him, even though attention was brought, y'all. Trust me when I tell you, there's some things with Mayor Riley Rogers that happened during his tenure as well. Tiffany, in my opinion, is just younger, as in this new generation. She ain't young, just younger, and is very much in everybody's face, much like generation millennial and Zennials. They all in your face. You gonna hear me. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I don't care what you got. That type of stuff. And that's where she is with it. But then when the pressure comes down, she doesn't know how to handle it because she wasn't taught how to be accountable, or probably even to learn how to work well with others. Those used to be a thing back when you used to apply for jobs. Used to be like bullet points on what you needed to do. She doesn't know how to do that because everything is in your face in 2024, even before then. But that's how people act now. And they think that that's the way it should be. And that's cute. They're right no matter what they do. And they're going down in flames. And once they're even proven to have been wrong and lying, they're still saying, no, it wasn't me. Shout out to Shaggy.
You served from 1986 to 2000 as a state trooper.
I know. I served from 1975 to 1986 on the state police.
Oh, and then what you do after that? The state's attorney's office?
No, I had a business. I had a business along with the state police. Also, I had my insurance broker's license for 21 years.
Wow, man, you telling me you was the state trooper before I was born? You said up until 1986?
Yes.
God dang it.
I'm going to say this. When I was on the state police, they weren't paying a lot of money, so I always had a part-time job. I worked part-time security job. But at night, I studied to get my insurance broker's license.
Lacey governs the police department. So the first question I would ask you is, how connected should a mayor be to the inner workings of a police department?
Well, I tried to keep my hands off of the police department and let the chief run the police department. But if I saw some things that were right, I would talk to the chief about it and expect him to correct it. Now, when I came in as the mayor, one of the biggest things that the residents were saying, we never see the police. So I acted like I was still on patrol. I would drive around the village 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, different shifts, because different things happen on different shifts. Daytime, you have certain crimes. Afternoon, you have certain crime. And then it's a certain crime that happens within the 24 hours. So I tried to.
You see these comments that they're bringing up, and if you can't, the comments that they're saying that Riley was doing the same thing and he was stealing money, allegedly. That's what they're saying in the chat. I'm just going by what they're saying in the chat. And now Jedediah is bringing some of their comments. And from what I have read, he had some issues with him as well. So we still going to listen to what he has to say, but we're going to take all this with a grain of salt.
Find out where the police were and what they were doing. And then I told the chief I wanted him to implement a daily activity report, which is what we did on the state police. You know, you start out with your mileage, and then at the end of tour of duty, you call your mileage in, and they could really find out how you actually patrolled out there. And you have to put down every activity that you receive, whether it's a domestic, whether it's an arrest you made or something like that, which would take away from your patrol time. But, you know, you can't take a squad car out and start at 100 miles on the dash and then bring it back with 105 miles on it. That means that you're not actively patrolling, depending on the activity that you've done for that shift.
Wow, you check mileage?
Yeah.
So you would literally patrol the streets at nighttime as the mayor?
I would go through the town at night, yes. And I would find out where we had criminal activity. I would go in that criminal activity area, Ford Explorer, and there was, actually like a police vehicle. And I would drive through the area, and it's a perception of police being patrolling. The police are patrolling. It's a perception of visibility. So I wanted to find out what was actually going on in town.
And so when you look at the current climate of policing in Dolton, there's this distrust and this vote of no confidence, I would say, for, or at least from the people that I've interacted with, for the current chief. And if you will answer it, I would wonder, do you feel, even in your resident now, do you feel that the police department is being ran properly? And do you have any feelings about Chief Lacey's rule of Dolton Police at this moment?
I think Chief Lacey is
All right, before he gets to Chief Lacey, this is Carl Wilson, the woman whose daughter was deleted by Dolton Police. Sorry, y'all, I can never remember that child's name. Rest in peace to that child, no disrespect. She wrote, Ryan Perez deleted 3 people under him, never reprimanded. So Mr. Perez is the one that red-rummed her daughter, as she puts it. And they are not happy listening right now to Riley Rogers speak. This whole, first of all, we already know that politics is a mess.com. What I've come to find out is that a lot of the people, when they do become these trustees and things like that, they never leave. And a lot of them have been former police officers in some capacity. If you look at your makeup ships, I guess I will call it, of your mayor and the trustees, you'll probably find, as I looked at mine, that there's some former police officers that are on there. So the mayor and the police officer are clearly working in tandem with one another. But I think that the police should work on their own. The mayor should work on their own, but they should collaborate. The mayor shouldn't be telling the police what to do. They should be conferring, and then they come out and make a statement together, of course. But we know that Big Tiff and her relationship with Lacey is a bit much. I mean, as evidenced by that video we watched a few days ago.
kind of overbearing, and you should do what the police chief does, and that's administration. Make sure that the troops are doing exactly what they should do. I don't think he's actually doing that.
Would he, if you were the mayor today, would Chief Lacey be the chief?
Negative, no.
He would not be the chief. And I asked you that because
Mayor Riley said, your ass will be on up out of here. He said, ain't no way.
Damn.
That's funny.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Now, I don't know if Lacey's going to jail, but child, that's funny.
what do you think about their morale? Or have you seen officers? What is their morale like as officers under Chief Lacey?
Since I've left, they've gone on several new officers. I don't know them, and I'm not sure what type of experience they've had. But
so my question is, does Riley Rogers still live in Dolton, or did he bust a move and get on up out of there?
I'm not sure what the crime level is right now. I live in a pretty safe area. We don't have any incidents over here where I live at, but
yeah, I bet.
You know, you got to actively patrol, and you have to stop cars, and make sure you try to get these guns off the street. Guns do not get to areas without being mobile. So,
man, we've seen some crazy things. And so one of the things that Tiffany did accuse you of was outside of weaponizing the police department was about lack of transparency or how you spent money when you were the mayor. But what I just saw, or what we've seen in this since I've been here, is that there's been a threat of water bills not being paid, and police officers and vehicles being repossessed, and lawyers quitting because they're not getting paid. What is it? And I'm trying to figure out how do I ask this question? Is this what every mayor goes through as it relates to these same accusations? Have you ever faced any of these issues of things being repossessed or water being cut off or lawyers quitting? Is this normal?
Good question.
As far as lawyers being cut off, I have not went through that. You know, we had a excellent lawyer, John Murphy. He's had a lot of municipal experience, and that's what I wanted when I came into office. Now, the mayor gets certain appointments, and they have to approve by the board. So the board needs to make a decision whether they want to approve the attorneys who are hired and things like that.
Okay, so the board is just as responsible for who's in these positions as the mayor. I get that. Does the board have any?
Oh, that's a good point. The board is just as responsible as the mayor is because they take the votes. I. But let's not act like we don't know that allegedly Tiff has her people, especially on Thornton Townships. The trustees on Thornton Township are her people. I'll call it that. Allegedly, they her people, so they gonna go along with whatever. But that's okay because the feds is gonna figure it out. So that's it. That's all for this portion because there's so much more. And, we got to get to it. I got to get back to my research. Let me know how you feel about this video, how you feel about Riley Rogers, especially those that already know him. Should we do more on him? Should we look into him and Cigarelli or however you say his name and see what was going on in the past? Y'all let me know. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Make sure you comment. I will see you all in the next one.
Because y'all got false narratives out there and y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
And we don't put out the good things that is happening. But you guys got to connect the dots. DOTTS.
What?
Dots.